Okay, guys, so you have now made it to the Meet the Family page. So, a little background information on what I talked about in this virtual museum is that the Carsons lived in the Carson house, of course. That's who it's named after. But the guy that owned it was John Carson, and he immigrated, which means he moved here from Ireland to America in 1773. So that was a long time ago, okay? And when he arrived to America, he jumped right into the Revolutionary War. And after that, he served as a justice of the peace, a tax collector, and was in charge of several estates, which means he had several houses that he owned. And he also served as a Burke County representative, which is what we refer to as Morganton. And that was a state level job. He was a very, very rich man not because of the jobs that he had, but because of actually gold. Him and his family loved to gold mine, and they made quite a bit of money by doing that. And also, he was a farmer, so he earned a lot of his money by crops and by gold. And by 1840, John Carson became the wealthiest man in western Burke County, which is now McDowell County, okay? And he married Rachel McDowell, and they had 7 children together. Rachel McDowell was the daughter of the man who founded our county, and who our county is named after. After giving birth to her 7th child, she passed away, and then Mr. Carson then remarried to Mary McDowell, which was actually Rachel's stepmom. And then they had 5 kids together, so in total, Mr. Carson had 12 kids. The house, like I mentioned in the first page, was built in 1793, so it's pretty old. And the original house was actually a log cabin, and you'll see the pictures in this page where there's a hole cut out in the wall, and you can see where the log cabins are still there. And then Samuel Carson, who is John Carson's most famous son, was known because he was one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence of Texas. And Samuel Carson also wrote a letter to Robert Vance, who's also a very historical person. And Samuel challenged him to a duel, which is a fight, which at this time was illegal in North Carolina. So they went all the way to South Carolina just to duel, and Samuel Carson beat Robert Vance, and Robert Vance actually ended up dying in the battle. And also, Samuel Carson was really, really good friends with Davy Crockett, and I know we've all heard of Davy Crockett. There's a movie about him and all kinds of cool stuff. But Davy Crockett was actually a frequent visitor of the Carson house because him and Samuel were such good friends. And there's some pictures on this site of that actual handwritten letter that Samuel wrote to Robert about the duel. And then also there's an original copy of it's not an original copy, it's an original copy of the copy of the Declaration of Independence from Texas. There's not going to be a quiz for this page because this was a lot of information, but just keep in mind all the cool things that Samuel Carson did and that John Carson did to benefit our community and even nation, like because Samuel Carson helped Texas. So not only did they help North Carolina and McDowell County, but they also helped different states in our country.